This webinar about the Home Energy Score was recorded on April 24th, 2014. The presenter for the webinar is Tim Tucker. As you can see, Tim Tucker has a lot of experience and has been in this industry for over 20 years and has performed over 8,000 inspections personally across the country. Here's Tim Tucker.
The U.S. Department of Energy's Home Energy Score provides information that helps homeowners understand their home's energy efficiency and how to improve it. The Home Energy Score is comprised of 3 parts, including the score itself, facts about the home, and recommended improvements to increase the score. After a 1-hour energy assessment by a qualified home energy assessor, homeowners will receive a score that rates their homes on a simple 1 to 10 scale. A score of 1 represents the least energy efficient home, and a 10 represents the most energy efficient home. The score also shows where a home would rank if all the energy saving improvements identified during the walkthrough were made. The Home Energy Score and associated report is then generated through the U.S. Department of Energy and Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory software called the Home Energy Scoring Tool. The Home Energy Scoring Tool is a key component of the U.S. Department of Energy's Residential Building Energy Label Initiative. This was designed to support the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009 and will be the first national asset rating method that allows all U.S. regions to opt into a simplified and standardized energy assessment process that complements existing advanced home energy audit methods. So to put this into perspective, most of you know what fuel mileage your car gets, or should get, and that the higher your MPG rating, the less you're going to spend on gasoline. But what about your home? Do you have any idea what the MPG of your home is? The Home Energy Score is designed to provide a rapid, low-cost opportunity assessment of a home's fixed energy systems, also known as an asset rating, and provide the homeowner with general feedback on the systems that potentially need more detailed attention from certified home performance diagnostics and weatherization professionals. This is a low-cost service. It generally takes about 15 to 20 minutes if in concert with other assessments like a home inspection, or approximately 1 hour if it's a standalone. It is not intended to replace a full in-depth energy audit, which can include a review of the utility bills, calculations, and diagnostic testing of the home. At this time, only single-family homes and townhomes can be scored. So in order to become a qualified assessor, all candidates must provide proof of certification as a building analyst from the Building Performance Institute or as a certified rater from a residential energy services network provider. Once these certifications are verified, the candidate assessors must pass an online test which covers building science and home energy score information, as well as successfully score 3 sample hypothetical homes. To calculate a home score, a qualified home energy assessor inputs information about a home's characteristics, collecting about 40 pieces of information. Information details include the building envelope, which covers things like insulation and windows, etc., as well as its heating, cooling, and hot water. The Home Energy Score and associated report is then, as mentioned earlier, generated through the U.S. Department of Energy and Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory software called the Home Energy Scoring Tool. Based on these home characteristics, the software estimates the home's annual energy use, assuming typical homeowner behavior. Information about how residents operate the house and non-permanent house features like lighting, home electronics, and appliances are not included in the score calculation, since these are not considered to be fixed assets. The software then converts the estimated energy use into a score, or based on a 10-point scale. This scale accounts for differences in weather conditions by using the zip code to assign the house to one of more than 1,000 weather stations. The home energy scoring software was designed so that the scores for different homes can be compared to one another regardless of where their homes are located or the number of people currently living in those homes. In keeping with the standardized nature of the assessment, predicted energy costs and savings assume state average energy prices. The scoring tool applies a standardized retrofit cost from the National Residential Efficiency Measures and limits recommendations to those achieving a payback of 10 years or less. As a result, predicted energy use may be different from actual utility bills. The extent of these variations will depend on additional factors such as how the occupant maintains their home, appliance ownership and use, actual number of occupants, and year-to-year weather variations. The Home Energy Score label lists the home address, interior condition floor area and square footage, which is areas within the home that are heated and or cooled. Also the year built, if an air conditioner is present, current home energy score using present state as a basis, the home energy score after upgrades are made, and then the estimated 10-year savings.
So as you look at this, you can see that last one, it showed that the home was a 3. With the recommended energy upgrades, if they were made, it would move that up to a 7. And you can see the estimated annual savings there of $411. And again, as at the top, you can see the square footage, the age, and if there was air conditioner present. Okay, on this particular sheet, you can see information about the home at the top. Again, we cover the date that we were there doing the assessment, the year built, number of stories, bedrooms, square footage, and even the direction of the house is facing. Then below that is the estimated energy use per year, and then below that is any comments that are relative that are inputted in by the qualified assessor. On this particular sheet, we have the air tightness. So at the top of the form, you'll see under air tightness, this is if a blower door was used during the assessment. You will see what the blower door reading was during the test. Now, blower door testing, however, is not a requirement to obtain a home energy score. And then you'll also see roof, attic, and foundation details are collected, along with wall construction and information about the windows and skylights, all of which greatly affect the thermal resistance and reflectance of the home's building envelope to conserve energy. And on this particular sheet, we see the total window glass surface is measured, and the glass type is also inputted. Then we have information about the mechanical system's efficiency ratings for the furnace, air conditioner, and water heater are also collected. And then ductwork location, air tightness, and insulation is also evaluated. And then on the final sheet, we lastly come to the recommendations portion of the home energy score. So you'll see here near the top, there's an area that says repair now. These improvements will save you money, conserve energy, and improve your comfort now. And you can see what the estimated utility bill savings is per year. And then right below that, replace later. These are improvements that will help you save energy when it's time to replace or upgrade. And at the very bottom left corner, you'll also notice that there is a reduction in the home's carbon footprint is also listed. Now, there are benefits to homeowners. It allows them to understand their home's energy performance compared to other houses in a neighborhood, customized recommendations for energy improvements, annualized cost savings if recommendations are implemented, and then also maximize efficiency and saving on utility bills. There was a study performed for SRA International on behalf of the Department of Energy in October of 2013, conducted by the Shelton Group, which evaluated the awareness and attitudes concerning the Department of Energy's home energy score. Now, the study explored perceptions of energy audits and gauged reactions to the idea of a home energy score. And in their segment on value to home buyers, many of the participants stated that they would like to see the home energy score information added to a traditional home inspection report, and even indicated they would pay up to $100 for the additional report. Now, there are benefits for the real estate professional. The home energy score is a differentiator between listed properties, and as all of us on this webinar can attest, not all properties are alike. There was a detailed survey undertaken by the Economics and Housing Policy Group in 2012 on behalf of the National Association of Home Builders titled What Home Buyers Really Want. And it was published on May 1st of 2013. It states that 77% agree or strongly agree that knowing projected utility costs of a home is important. 73% also agree that the projected utility cost of a home would influence their purchase decision. 71% agree that they would prefer to buy a home from a builder that provides home energy ratings. Home buyer surveys stated that they would be willing to pay an additional average of up to $7,000 in upfront price of the home if it saved them $1,000 annually in utility costs. And there are 94% want Energy Star rated windows. 36% of those said that that was absolutely essential. But here's the key percentage. 91% of those polled want an Energy Star rating for the whole home. And that lastly, the home energy score is relatively inexpensive and pays for itself. Now the top priorities when doing the home energy score, the number one area that always needs improvement, it seems like, is insulation. So while we're up in the attics and we have cable, phone, electricians moving back and forth, creating pathways in the insulation where you have low levels or almost zero insulation on the attic access hatch. You may have had what was an R38 in the attic, but now due to these pathways and due to the zero insulation on the attic hatch, that actually by the time you do your calculation, you may now be up to maybe an R25, an R28, so you don't have that thermal blanket like you thought you had. And then air sealing. Even on your own home, your attic access hatch, if it's in your master bedroom closet or somewhere, and you've bumped it up before, is there actually weather stripping there? So air sealing is very important, especially around doors and windows. As homes age, weather stripping dries out, it cracks, it becomes loose, it falls apart. And around exterior outlets and light switches. Many of you, if you've ever put your back of your hand up against an outlet or a light switch and you can feel that air moving through. So these are some of the key things, is adding insulation, air sealing, and also duct leakage, sealing joints and seams, and then insulating your ductwork. So I picture this as many folks may know that they have this issue, and it's kind of like having a hole in your pocket and you keep putting change in there. But you don't mind because the hole is still small enough to where it keeps quarters, but the rest of it falls out. And so that's the analogy that I equate to this, is because some of this seems so small, but over time it actually becomes very expensive. Then we have the recommendations to replace later. The following are the recommendations used in the home energy score for when you replace the affected equipment at a later time when needed or desired. And actually, as you look at this list and you look at the mechanical equipment and also the windows, you can see that they are pushing for Energy Star. And then anything with the roof, they're looking for an increased reflectance value to try to keep the heat, again, reflected away from the home. Okay, so we have the good and the bad. Here's some of the concerns. According to Realtor Magazine, while NAR supports voluntary incentive-based programs that encourage owners to make their homes more energy efficient, Realtor members do have concern regarding the accuracy and stigmatism effect that energy score and labels, and ensuring that a volunteer program does not become mandatory, especially at the time of purchase. The realtors who participated in the conference made the observation that consumers were already requesting and obtaining this kind of information through market-based mechanisms, and made the case that real estate markets are responding to consumer demand for this data. So just consider this on the, because some of you may have a question, well, what about the older home? Will it receive a lower score? Well, consider this as an opportunity to make those needed energy improvements to that home, and that the home energy score will itemize each of those improvements to their highest priority. Okay, many of you on this call, especially if you're a real estate agent, the Green MLS Implementation Guide was created by the National Association of Realtors, so we may have some green agents on this call. But the Green Resource Council, in cooperation with the Real Estate Standards Organization and the Real Estate Transaction Standard Data Dictionary, to provide a blueprint to implement green MLS fields which are in compliance with the real estate transaction standards. Basically, it's essentially the guide to provide a library of terms related to green and energy efficient buildings in an attempt to standardize language in the MLS systems throughout the country. That way, in this way, a home's features and any certifications can be consistently described by any MLS system that adopts the standard set of terms. Now, according to the U.S. Green Building Council's 2008 Lead for Homes Reference Guide, the environmental impact of the residential sector is significant. There are more than 120 million homes in the United States, and about 2 million of those are new homes, which are constructed each year. Now, according to the U.S. Department of Energy, the residential sector accounts for 22% of the total energy consumed in the nation and 74% of the water. Levels of indoor pollutants can often be 4 to 5 times higher than outdoor levels. The residential sector also contributes 21% of U.S. carbon dioxide emissions. The considerable impact on the environment created by homes necessitates a shift towards sustainable construction and energy retrofits. You may ask, how in the world are we going to start paying for this, these retrofits? Well, financing is available for energy improvements, and I want to start off by saying I am not a finance professional, but I want to make you aware of what's called Power Saver. Power Saver, many of you may on this call may understand that. Power Saver is a mortgage insurance pilot program from the Federal Housing Administration that enables homeowners to make cost-effective, energy-saving improvements to their home. Power Saver enables homeowners to borrow up to $25,000 for terms as long as 20 years to make energy improvements of their choice. The 203K Power Saver helps homeowners finance energy improvements when buying a house or refinancing an existing mortgage. Examples of eligible improvements include insulation, duct sealing, energy-efficient doors and windows, energy-efficient furnace, air conditioner, water heater, solar panels, and even geothermal systems. Borrowers, though, must have credit scores of at least 660, and a total debt-to-income ratio cannot exceed 45%. And loan-to-value ratios can be capped at 100% of the property's value. Now, we have a resource for you. The database of state incentives for renewables and efficiency website is the most comprehensive source of information on incentives and policies that support renewables and energy efficiencies in the United States. They list energy rebate programs, tax incentives, tax credits, and more. And the website for that is www.dsireusa.org.